Today we're testing 3 super easy keto-friendly air fryer recipes. Every time we do an air fryer recipe video, you guys get excited because I think air fryers are taking over the world of kitchen appliances. Sarah and I are new to air fryers. We have only used it maybe 10 times in the past couple years. So we're excited to try these recipes for you today. And if you're new here, Sarah and I have been living a technically keto lifestyle since January of 2019, and we've lost a combined total of 160 pounds. And on our channel, we just love trying and testing recipes for all of you. So we have 3 recipes that we're going to be trying today. We're going to be leaving links in the description below the video if you want to check them out. You do not need a TikTok account to view these videos. You can view them on your phone. The first recipe is called Air Fried Pepper Poppers. Say that 10 times. By Erin Dittmer. And it looks really easy, so we're excited to try it. You're going to be eating bell peppers, Boursin cheese, and honey substitute. This is so easy, so that's why we picked it. You're going to be slicing up your bell peppers to create little boats out of them. Make sure all the seeds and the white part are out of the bell peppers. We have a trio of bell peppers here, red, orange, and yellow. You can use whatever bell peppers that you want. We're going to be filling each of these little boats with the Boursin cheese. I'm sure that you could put like any type of cream cheese in here with spices if you don't want to use Boursin, or goat cheese if you have like a favorite goat cheese, that would be good too. We're going to be loading them into the air fryer basket, spraying them with a bit of avocado oil, and then we're going to be putting them in the air fryer at 380 degrees for 5 minutes. And while those are in the air fryer, we're going to talk about Element, who's the sponsor of this video. Element is a delicious electrolyte drink mix with everything that you need and nothing that you don't. That means lots of salt and no sugar. Element contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Sarah and I drink Element every single day, and we have been for years because we love the way it tastes and it helps us on our ketogenic lifestyle. That's because when you go into ketosis, you shed a lot of water, and inside that water are your electrolytes. This can leave you feeling tired, nauseous, and have muscle cramps, also known as the keto flu. Element replenishes your electrolytes so that you feel better. Sarah and I love all the flavors of Element, but our absolute favorites are citrus salt, orange salt, and raspberry salt. Right now, Element's offering our community a free sample pack. It looks like this so that you can try all the flavors. That's 8 single serving packets free with any order from Element. This way you can try all the flavors or share some with a salty friend. In order to get this deal, you must go to drinklmnt.com/ketotwins. We are going to be drizzling a little bit of our honey on top. She does use hot honey. I don't know what that is, so we're just gonna be using honey. If you wanted to like mix your honey up with some maybe sriracha or something, that might be really good. And we're gonna go downstairs and we're gonna try it. Trying our first recipe, I think it looks really good. It would be really great to have like a quick popper idea. Sometimes I feel like making jalapeno poppers can be kind of a hassle. And a touch of hot sauce. Do you want hot sauce in here or not? Yeah, sure. That's enough. Yeah, literally a dollop, a dot. Literally a dot. I guess you could mix them together if you wanted. All right. I'm really liking the taste of the bell pepper because I was expecting almost like a jalapeno because I've had so many jalapeno poppers before. It's a very different flavor, but the same texture as a jalapeno. And it's sweeter and more mild. So if you don't like jalapenos, this might be a great option for you. I think that everybody at a party would love this as well. I mean, maybe make them a little bit smaller. We kind of just made them bigger because why not? You know what I mean? Next up, we have a very exciting air fryer recipe, and I cannot wait to try it. So the next recipe comes from TikTok again. It's by This Is Planet Food, and it's for fried burrata. If you've never tried burrata before, it's actually like mozzarella cheese with a really soft and liquidy inside. It's super delicious, and it looks really simple to make. This TikTok is literally 10 seconds long, so I had to take a screenshot of all the ingredients. We're gonna be setting up our dredging stations. We're gonna be using almond flour, egg wash, and pork rinds again. We do think that you could use Lupin flour and Lupin flakes if you guys wanted to switch it out, but this is what we like doing because we know that we're gonna get a really good crispy result with it. We're gonna season our almond flour with oregano and paprika, and then we're gonna go in and season the egg wash because we like to season every component, and we're also going to put some of that oregano and paprika into our pork rinds. So while shopping for these ingredients, I came across this burrata with black truffle. I've been really enjoying truffle oil, so burrata and truffles, it sold me. We're gonna try it. So actually there are 2 little burrata balls in here. In the TikTok, she just had one massive one. We're gonna do 2 little ones. I've drained all the liquid and we're gonna get to breading them. So I took my burrata ball and I first rolled it into our seasoned almond flour. I kind of pressed it down And you have to be careful because if you press it too much, the breading is going to fall off. So I moved it over gently to our egg wash where I did the same thing. I kind of coated it in the egg wash very slowly, making sure everything was covered. And then I moved it over to our seasoned pork rinds. I don't want to move it too much. I just want to kind of compact the pork rinds around the ball of burrata. And then I placed it into our air fryer basket. We're going to generously spray it with avocado oil. We're going to put it in our air fryer at 338 degrees for about 6 to 8 minutes.
There is no 338.
Yeah. So actually the recipe called for you to cook it at 170 degrees Celsius, and when I converted that in Google, it said it was 338 degrees. We're gonna round up to 340. Well, this one didn't work out the way that we were expecting.
I'm so sad. Oh my gosh. When we opened that air fryer basket, I was upset. I mean, it's pretty. It's just not what we wanted.
We've really had no problem ever breading something with pork rinds. Maybe this is the thing that doesn't work. It just didn't hold together at all. It melted right away. But I feel like it's still going to taste good. And we're going to be eating it with some low-carb bread. A chaffle would work out really well with this, but we're just going to be using some keto-friendly bread. Looks yummy. Okay. Kind of reminds me of like a chicken parmesan without the chicken. There's no chicken in here, but
I taste the truffle for sure, though. It might have collapsed, but I can still taste like the inside of the burrata being nice and soft, which is funny because it's kind of like all the liquid escaped. It's just the flattened version of it.
Yeah. So even though it didn't work out,
it tastes good.
Yeah, it's super delicious. I really like the black truffle burrata.
You know what's funny? Maybe I don't even need the bread. Just eat it as is.
Maybe we needed to double dredge it to keep it like encapsulated. There just wasn't enough breading to keep it whole. Sometimes things don't work out, but we ate it and it's still delicious, but it's just kind of a fail.
Last up, we have a really exciting recipe that we're going to try, and it has to do with Sarah's least favorite food ever, artichokes. The last super easy keto-friendly air fryer recipe that we're going to be trying is inspired by a recipe on TikTok by Cook It Erica. She has so many great recipes, but not a lot of them are low-carb or keto. So we're excited to kind of transform this into a keto-friendly recipe today. The recipe is fried artichoke hearts. And if you didn't know this, Sarah hates artichokes.
Hate's a strong word, but yeah, disliked.
Sorry.
This one? Other one. Sorry. There you go.
It's like,
it's fine.
Sarah had a bad artichoke dip 20 years ago, so she's very apprehensive when I tell her I want to try an artichoke recipe. Oh well, we're trying it today. So for this recipe, you're going to be needing artichokes. We bought these ready-to-eat artichokes in some kind of liquid. You're going to be needing spices. She uses Old Bay in hers and some Italian seasoning. You're going to be needing something to coat your artichokes in. She uses breadcrumbs. We're not going to be using breadcrumbs. We're going to be using pork panko. You can use crushed pork rinds if you want. If you do not like the taste of pork rinds, try it anyway because we're going to be flavoring these. You're not going to be able to taste pork rinds. If you don't eat pork for another reason, we would suggest using lupin flour and lupin flakes. It's pretty much the same thing in different textures. We did try it a couple weeks ago and made a really awesome mozzarella carrot. That was what it was called, but the lupin flakes actually tasted really good. So definitely check out that video if you want to see how that worked out. You're also going to be needing 2 eggs for some egg wash, and that's it. She also serves this with a sauce. She kind of throws together a sauce at the end, and we'll be making that too based on what we have. So in the video, she cuts them up into quarters, but these look pretty small. I think we're going to do it halves. We're going to start by draining and slicing our artichokes. In the TikTok, the creator uses Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. We don't have breadcrumbs that are seasoned. So we're gonna be using pork panko with Italian seasoning. The other tip that we will tell you guys is if you don't like the taste of pork panko or pork rinds, try to add garlic into everything. If you add garlic powder into the pork rinds, you're not gonna taste them. That's our trick. We use it all the time. You're gonna be needing flour to initially dredge your artichokes in. She uses regular flour with a bit of Old Bay seasoning. We're gonna be using almond flour with a bit of Old Bay seasoning, but you could also use lupin flour and lupin flakes. if you want to switch it out for pork rinds and almond flour. We like to season every layer of this. So the flour, the egg wash, and the pork panko. So we've sprinkled a little bit of the Old Bay on top of the artichokes that have been draining on paper towel. We're gonna go first into the almond flour, then into the egg wash, and then we're gonna pat the pork rinds into the artichokes. Pork rinds can kind of fall off, so you don't wanna put too much on there. Just make sure that you're kind of putting pressure on them and kind of compacting them. Then we're gonna transfer it into our air fryer basket. Okay. We're gonna put these in the air fryer at 375 for 10 minutes. So next up, we're gonna make the dipping sauce. She says make it from the heart, and my heart says Duke's Mayo. Anyway, you guys know I love Duke's Mayo. Or if you don't, you do now. We're gonna do maybe a 1/4 cup of Duke's Mayo. We're gonna do a teaspoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of Frank's Red Hot, and a couple squirts of lemon juice. And we're gonna stir it all together and keep it in the fridge while our artichokes cook. And then we're gonna plate them up, go downstairs, and try our last recipe. Well, at least these worked out. It looks good. They look crunchy, they're intact, they didn't fall apart. That makes me happy. The sauce looks awesome because it's pretty much mayo. Mm-hmm. They kind of look like chicken nuggets, but I know that they aren't. I hope I like them. I don't smell artichokes, so that's a good sign. I like it. They are extremely flavorful. Oh, really great recipe. I taste a ton of the seasoning in there. So I was never a fan of artichokes before I had this dish one time. It was artichoke dip, and it just tasted really weird, and it kind of scarred me for life.
Did you get sick after?
Yes. And it just takes one bad dish for the first time that you're trying something for you to like never want to eat that thing again. And so I've been trying to have an open mind and open heart. And yeah, these are super delicious.
These would be great at a party as well. Artichokes are really beautiful too if you ever want to grow them. Do you know what an artichoke flower looks like?
The purple one?
I love this. I'm going to be making this again for sure. So for 2 of these recipes, we used pork panko and almond flour as the coating. But if you guys want to see us try a lupin flour alternative for pork panko, you can click right here where we made this video a couple weeks ago, and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Emily.
I'm Sarah.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out. Good.
They taste lemony.
Sarah always says that about artichoke.
They do.